will be recorded. Alrighty. So just to start, my name's Rebecca. I am a co-CEO of I Am Education, formerly I Am Montessori. We've had for 12 years. We also own a centre here in Brisbane, Queensland, and we went up to 3 centres and now down to 1. Jason, quick intro on you.
Yes, hello, I'm Jason. I have been in early education for 18 years, most recently as a director and ECT of that centre that Beck was talking about. We've closed up the end of last year due to some leasing things. And so now I've moved full time into IM education,
Mm.
working alongside Beck.
Beautiful. So how today is going to work is I'm going to share my screen and we've got some slides to go through AI in education in early childhood. We'll show you some things that we've created and hear from you. We want this to be interactive. We want to hear from you any questions you've got, any concerns you've got, any ideas that come up or problems that you need solved in the work that you do. So Jason being an early childhood teacher, but also a director, he and myself as an approved provider, knowing how much pressure is on those in director and educational leadership roles in early childhood in general, how can we use this opportunity, this technology, to assist us to have and be more efficient at the same time, though, ensuring that the ethics and the boundaries we are holding for the profession and the work that we do. Because we believe that using this technology, using different forms of AI is going to help you actually do what you want to do, why you love what you've chosen to be in. And this sector needs it more than ever before. So in the chat, any questions you've got, and then we will sort of invite you on and off as we go through this. So I'm going to share my screen with you. You'll be able to see this. All right. So why does it matter? Because we are leading teams with educators who are burning out. We've got admin that is taking up the roles and taking us further away from the things we actually want to be doing, the things that bring us joy in this role. Budgets are tight, especially with the changes that have been going on. For some of you work for profits where their budgets are tighter. Some of you are in community where you might have a little bit more room. However, that's even being swallowed up at the moment. And we've got many centres whose occupancy isn't what it normally is. So those budgets might be tighter than they've ever been. It's time for us to change, where we've got early childhood teachers, educators, leaders, directors taking work home or staying back beyond their hours. It's not okay. A sector cannot be built on that false economy. So this is an opportunity we have in this profession to utilize this in ways that we've never been able to before. And it can be done so more than ever, even if the budgets are tight. And it's about working smarter and not harder and allowing us to be there for the things that we want to do. So who are we? We are I Am Education. We do in-person coaching and mentoring for one-on-one leaders and also for teams as a whole. We support professionals beyond their job. We look at not just the professional part, but also the personal, and look at life holistically. We are created for the modern service, the service that is ready to innovate. We don't work with centres directly in our coaching and mentoring who are over 100 places. So for us, we work with culture and centres and services across the country that are modern. And I don't mean modern in that you have a brand new shiny building. I mean whose mindset is proactive, who are looking at best practices and ready to innovate where possible and lean in rather than be fearful of what's coming. Our lessons are hands-on. They're gamified for fun and learning. It is different to what you might have experienced in the past when it comes to professional development. Our why in the next 7 years is to bring ideas to life so that 1 million people can reach their potential from first breath to last. So we focus on, with I Am Education, we focus on the early years all the way up to the age of 12 at the moment. So 0 to 12, from that first breath all the way up to becoming a teenager. So today is about AI, and you may have seen it in your feeds on social media. You might have heard it in articles that you've read. You may use software that has AI in it at the moment. What is AI? It is artificial intelligence. It are tools that mimic human thinking, the mind. It learns patterns, recognizes language, and it helps generate content, helps process data. If you think of it like having a personal assistant who never sleeps, and you can train it to speak like you. So one of the biggest things we want with the work we do in our clients is how to use AI to replicate your mastery. So to replicate your mind and the master that you are in the profession that you do, not replace. There is a big difference, and how you use it will show, and it's showing already on social media, but you'll start to see the difference between those who are using it to master rather than those who are using it to replace themselves. Why does it matter in early childhood? We, as leaders, are responsible for children, parents, and all the paperwork that goes with that. Our time matters, even though sometimes it feels like it doesn't to others. We wear 17 hats, 20 hats all at once. And what AI can help with is efficiency, creativity that may surprise you, and saving and conserving your own energy. Okay, so some of the myths about AI is it'll take our jobs. We are in a sector, in a role where AI isn't going to take our physical jobs, the education and care elements that we do. However, sometimes it's too technical. It's not anymore. And it has blown our minds with what we have experienced over just the last 6 months in how things have changed in the work that we do and what's possible. People might say that it's unsafe, and it's only if it's misused. Collectively, as a society, as humanity, there are ways in which how are we going to use AI moving forward that is needing to be considered on that collective conscious level. However, when it comes to early childhood, there are ways that we can still put ethics and boundaries in place and run it through that filter of what we do and what we don't do. And the truth is that the person using the AI best becomes the most valuable. That's the truth. And so for you being on here to learn more about AI in early childhood, you are leaning towards and becoming somebody who is the most valuable, because there are going to be roles in this sector that are replaced by AI, and it's going to replace the job if people aren't upskilling themselves. So some of the key areas that you can use AI now is in admin and compliance, risk assessments, programming documentation, policies and procedures. All of these can be utilized in AI systems like ChatGPT. Communication, newsletters, translating documents for families who may speak English as a second language, for SMS, for ideation. And we'll show you some examples of this today about the depth of what's possible and how quickly it is and how it can bring excitement back to your team and the culture of your service. How you can support staff. Rosters, for some of you, rosters take hours. They can take minutes now. Training summaries. I'm going to show you something that blew our minds only a few weeks ago with what's possible when it comes to in-person training for your team. For those yearly reviews you need to do each year for your staff, all of these things can be done with AI and save you hours and hours of time. And when it comes to learning and planning and programming, activity ideas, observations, linking to the EYLF, extended lessons, and I'm going to show you an example of this, which got our team excited last week, about what this technology can do for you. And now we are talking about beyond ChatGPT. That is the main thing that everybody's talking about online and in the space at the moment, but there is so much more to it. When it comes to admin, there are things like where you can generate a learning story from a few dot points, a whole story. You can draft and edit your policies. You can create rosters, daily checklists, and complete them digitally. Jason and I are currently programming software that does our daily opening and closing checklist with our team digitally, and not having to do it through our existing software, but we can map it and it can feed into things like StoryPack. It can feed into things like KidSoft. It allows us to write reports faster if that's something that you need to do in your role and you have an approved provider. These things, you can save hours a week with what's possible. When it comes to communication, family newsletters, translating your parent notices, social media content and prompts, email and SMS sequences, marketing strategies. So if you are at a service where you might be struggling with, say, utilization at the moment and enrollments, we've tested utilizing the existing data that's in software like Kidsoft or Owner or whatever you're using, putting that in and creating a marketing strategy on how to get yourself to 90%. And it gives you everything you need to do. And it takes minutes. So that's something that if you want to see, we can show you that today as well. When it comes to programming, you can extend observations with scaffolded next steps. And I'm going to show you something that we did with children with an observation that we did on a group last week and the activity, and then what is possible with what's out there to extend that observation and to imprint and deepen that learning for children. We have been getting our team to do observations via voice note, and it gets dictated and prescribed immediately. And the amount of observations that we're able to do in less time has less faces in iPads and computers. And we have more children having access to their educators each and every day. It's phenomenal. But there are things to be careful about. We don't want to automate decisions around child safety. And this is more imperative than ever before. We want AI to be used in ways where it can give more time to educators and leaders so that they can have that human connection, so that they have more time to do reference checks, so they have more time to observe their educators, so they have more time with the people that matter the most, children, their team. That is how we increase child safety, is with more human connection. We don't want to use AI to shut off our emotional intelligence, to gain insights. We can use it to assist us, and we don't want to put confidential data into these spaces. But you can use AI to assist and not to replace you. We want it to support you. We want it to assist you, to allow you to do more with less energy, less time. So when it comes to utilizing AI, it's important to be transparent with parents. We never input private child data. And it's important to double check everything. It is helpful, but it is not perfect. And you want to use it, as I've said before, to replicate your mastery, not replace you. And educator wisdom has to still come first. This is about using the tool as a support mechanism, as a co-pilot in the work that you're doing. And so some of the AI tools that you could use and that we have tested out are things like ChatGPT. Many of you may have used ChatGPT on a regular basis. I want to show you how you can use this tool with others as well. You may also use Canva, which has a lot of AI generative tools in it now to help with your marketing, your social media, your newsletters, those type of things. We utilize Go High Level for our marketing automation. There are things like Otter and Fathom that can transcribe meetings. They can record your meetings. They can put things into dot points and action lists immediately. And an incredible tool that we've been using recently is Replit. And Replit is where I can see how AI is going to transform lives in early education, because all of a sudden, the gap between the solution for the problem no longer needs a programmer, no longer needs hundreds and thousands of dollars spent on it. Just by using certain prompts, you can create software to solve solutions in your service. It is amazing, and we're going to show you how to do that today. So Ask IM was born. And I'm going to ask Jason to come off to talk about Ask IM, why we do it, what it is, and this is about, we've created this for us and our educators and for our clients, but I want to just quickly show you this was created in Replit. And then we're going to go through and do live, get some problems from you guys and live solve them and show you all the other tools that we've used as well. So Jason.
All right, perfect. So Ask IM. The idea behind it was creating an AI companion to support educators, because the vision is I was doing all these things. I was mentoring. I was being there in the moment for educators. I was bridging the gap between the stories they were telling themselves and the internal nervous system state that they were in. I was sharing the behavioral expertise that I had built over my time as an educator. But all of these things, it gets to a point where myself as the director, I was feeling the pressure for it. And then I wasn't able to then turn up for the educators. So Ask I Am is what I created through Replit to mimic and to replicate the mastery that I had. And it's had 4 modes built into it. We've got a coaching mode, which is designed to help educators pause, reflect, and regulate. It allows you to have a conversation and feel as though you have a human conversation, human mentor, human coach speaking back to you. Because ultimately, one of the great beliefs that we have is educators' wisdom, it comes first, but also educators in their wisdom, they know what to do, but it's the stories we tell ourselves, it's our nervous system that stops us from being able to truly showcase the wisdom that we have. And the next mode is behavior mode. Behavior has become, I refer to it as my unfortunate niche at times over my time as an educator, because I developed the ability to work with children with behaviors, but it was also very tiring. And so, what I've done with behavior mode is educators are able to put in descriptions of what the behaviors they're experiencing, and the Ask I Am will create a plan to support that child and also to support educators. Planning mode. So for Gemma in Montessori, she will love the final tab of this, but what the planning mode allows you to do is put an observation into the application, choose the framework that you want to use, whether it's EYLF, QKLG for up in Queensland, or My Time Our Place. And then the AI will create an analysis of that learning. It'll link it to the framework, and it will also provide opportunities for future planning. And once again, it's not a recipe, it's a starting point for then you to build off. The summary of learning, we're able to input, let's say, a term worth of observations, and then the AI will create a summary of everything, write it up for you in a paragraph. So then that way you can then use that as summative assessments. And then final in the Montessori lessons, this is one that our center uses to input a child's interests, input a child's strengths, their development, what they're working on, and then it will create a Montessori lesson and break it down what you need to do to create that lesson for the child. And then finally, journal mode. Journal mode is the ability for educators to pause on the end of their day and feel as though they've been able to actually speak it out with what's been happening for them. So they feel at the end of the day, they're able to go to sleep without carrying everything. And it has dynamic prompts, which, depending on the interactions you've had with the other modes, your reflection prompt will change. But you're also able to just input your own reflection, and the AI will respond to you and will talk to you through your reflection. So currently we have a free 7-day trial. So scanning that code will allow you to jump on and apply for the 7-day trial, and that will all be sent through to you. So that way you're able to see the power of Ask I Am in person and play around with it whilst we're continually editing and adding more features to it as well as time goes on.
So I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and I want to open up to those who are here, because we can at this point now show you the other platforms, the other AI that's available. And and show you in real time a solution for you. So I'm wearing Meta Ray-Bans. These are AI glasses. 2.5 weeks ago, we had an issue where in one of our services, a person, an uncle came up to pick his niece up from the center. And he was a bit of an influencer. He's a bit of an influencer on social media and doesn't have children himself. We only found out that he was wearing these with something that he uploaded onto TikTok and Instagram. He videoed live him picking up his niece. She was so excited, and he put it onto his social media. There was 11 other children who were in that video. And there was, without knowing this, there's no way to know whether these are glasses or sunglasses, or whether they can record or not. So we bought a pair to actually break it down, but then also to teach our team what to look for. Okay, so there's those dangers, right? So we want to talk about where people in the service that may not be in the team may utilize technology in a negative sense, but then also what are the positives? Because if there's positives, there's going to be negatives, and if there's negatives, there has to be positives. It's the only way that anything can exist. It has to have both perspectives. So these exist. There are going to be Oakley ones out as well. The reasons it's important, and we'll have a video that we'll send you via email that you can use showing you the differences of what to look for. But what we then tested out was so our service is a Montessori service. I wore these glasses into the center, and then I asked the glasses when I was looking at one of the materials on the shelf, tell me what Montessori material I'm looking at. And it explained to me exactly what material it was. And then I asked it to show me how to use it. And it told me step by step on how to use that material with the children. From a training perspective, having this in your service allows you to have educators who can learn how to use certain materials or how to complete your training with an AI assistant involved in it. It also allows for different types of observation. So if you're working with a child on the floor and they're wearing these sunglasses, like these glasses, and they are recording, they can record the video observation for that family, for the group, whatever it is. Obviously, you're going to have processes around these. It's really, really imperative and important. But it's different because now you don't have an iPad or like a phone in front of somebody. You now are there, and it's capturing it as well, right? So there's positives to it. There's also negatives in the sense of if you don't know what to look for, you might have casual staff coming into your service wearing these, recording, and you don't know. And that could be horrendous, especially in bathrooms, in nappy changes, all of those styles. So for us, it's really imperative to get this knowledge out about what's out there, what's positive, and how it can be misused. So these give an opportunity for you to become aware of, and we've written a policy that we've just sent out to people who wanted it on Facebook for free. If you need a policy for technology like this, we'll just send it to you for free as well. But you need to keep up with it. It is changing faster and quicker than ever before. So from a training perspective, these can be incredible. From an observation perspective, incredible opportunities. But it's also being aware of what is possible on the negative front. So we've got who here, and Abby, come off because you're off camera as well. But how could you see, or how are you using AI now, or what problems do you have in your role that we could help solve?
I think I'm very much a newbie to AI, and it's moving much faster than me, like most people probably. So I'm really here to start the conversation, start my learning. I have seen those glasses before and didn't even make the connection to how they could be used negatively. So now that's helped me start thinking a bit more deeply about things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
So
intention was beautiful, by the way. His intention was beautiful, but he had no idea what breaches he had done when he did it. So
yeah,
Was very
we've had
respectful as well.
yeah, we've had some conversations with staff around devices that children wear and their recording capacity, and particularly phones that take 30 screenshots and then they go home, they'll just look like watches for children. So we've had those kind of conversations, but I hadn't really moved forward to think about how adults have access to AI and use it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you use ChatGPT at all?
No, I haven't. But I can see its advantages. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Great. We'll show you something live on that. I'll ask Gemma, come off. Gemma, where are you at? How can you see, what problems do you have that maybe AI could solve or that we could show you? What's interesting for you at the moment?
So, Rebecca, I'm at work.
Yeah.
So I'm half on a phone call to an educator. So I might have to leave in a few minutes. I have to have the phone. I can't get the camera. I've only used ChatGPT really in my role for help me with some emails.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because of the inclusion role, just to make sure, more. But I think the educators sometimes use it to write some of their observations. Yet can be, sometimes the observations don't look as personable though.
Yeah, so that's
they've used AI, but it's probably not the language that they would use.
Yeah, so there's mastery of it, using it as a support, not as a replacement. And a lot of people are just using it as a replacement at the moment, and you're able to see it. So what we'll do is we'll show you something on that as well. Cindy, I don't know if you can come off audio, but if you can, is there anything that you would specifically, that you use it at the moment or that you would like to see? Sorry, I have to leave. This recording will be sent out later. It will.
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to show then is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you from an observation what is possible. Okay, so let's close that. Let's go to, why can't I get my word up? All right, so escape that one. All right, so this is ChatGPT. This is what most people have heard of when it comes to AI and access. And so what we want to do and be aware of is we don't want it to replace us, okay? But if I go into, what did I put into? I'm just making sure I don't breach any confidentiality. So say you've got an observation in Storypark or whatever platform you might use, and then you go, okay, I want to extend on that, and how could you? So I'm just looking for, Jay,
Yes.
can you log into Storypark on your screen and just put the paper observation text into the chat? Just copy and paste, because if you do it, then no one will see any of the screen or the photos.
Yeah.
So what happens here is we use Storypark. You would get the observation that a staff member might have done, and your educators can do this too. I'm just wanting to show you the incredible possibility of taking a simple observation, and this is a group observation that you'll see, taking a simple observation and turning it into deeper learning. And the one we're going to use is making paper. So last week, our team...
I just put it in.
Thank you. Our team did a group activity of making paper. And so this is the observation that was put in. And I just want to show you when you prompt ChatGPT, so turn this observation into lyrics for a song for children. All right, so they've got their observation. We are getting ChatGPT to turn this into a song, lyrics for a song. Okay. I'm going to take these lyrics, and you can edit, these lyrics if you chose to, but I'm just gonna, for the time, I just want to show you what is possible. So I've got these lyrics now. There's this AI software called Suno. I put the lyrics here, and this is happening in real time, just so you're all aware. This is the title. And I can put in this style description, catchy jingle for children, make fun vibe, create. And within a minute, it's going to give you two options, two different types of songs using those lyrics. You can even put like Australian accent, you can put whatever you want in there. But I just want to show you, and I'm going to play it to you.
We're little paper makers working every day. Turn into something new to say. We rip it and blend it. It's part of the plan.
So that's one option. It'll give you two. And you can access Suno for free. Right, so we've gone from an activity in the classroom, best of children's interests. We have the written observation that's in Story Park. We can now use AI, turn that into lyrics. We can turn that into a song that we can then play in the room and learn with the children and deepen that learning and bring that joy and fun in. The thing is that with software like Suno, like you can literally, with anything, get ideas from the children, create lyrics, and they can be creating songs and music in different ways, right? So the point of showing you things like this is that it's not limited to ChatGPT. These are things and ways in which you can bring time back, bring energy back, bring excitement back into this sector. Jay, I'm going to stop sharing the screen on mine because
Yep.
I want you to show on your side, you know, what you can do from a utilization perspective, what you did as an example, and like even the Replit IM software.
Yep.
So you should be able to share your screen as a co-host.
Okay, let me pull it up.
So Abby, we've put in, like, this was a prompt based off of a PDF from Kidsoft. So Jay, as a director, like, what was the case study you were using this for as an example?
So for this here, I've taken a current role from our center from this week and have taken the names and everything off it. So it's just date of birth, the days they attend, and have given the outline of it. So 64 place center, 3 rooms, a 15 months to 2.5, a 2.5 to 3.5, 3.5 to 5. Children turning 5 by July 1, 2026 will be leaving to go to school. The room 1 has a maximum of 18 children, room 2 maximum 22, room 3 max 24. So based on the current numbers, what age bracket do I need to market towards to start the year at 90% occupancy and providing a full marketing strategy, including social media prompts for the next 6 months? So with this here, it has analyzed the age of the children, and it's understanding that this room is going to have the highest turnover, meaning to backfill room 3. Room 2, children in this room will move up to room 3, and then room 1 doing its thing. So giving us a conclusion to hit 90%, we need to market heavily towards the 2.5 to 4-year-old age groups. And then with our marketing strategy, it's providing a plan. So July, we want to do this. Building awareness through SEO and social intro reels, and then going into more depth. So during July, post 1, post 2, post 3. And if we wanted to, we could actually go into this in more detail, which I will show. And so by asking for the specific copy and the creative, anyone is able to promote on social media. Giving you the exact script and voiceover that you can use along with the different creative elements that you need.
It gives you
And
ideas
then,
on color and how to do it. You don't need to worry about all of that as
no.
much if you don't want to.
And so then it gives you the caption, which you can just put straight in, obviously fixing up the little bits here. But like Beck said, AI is a tool. It's not to replace, but all of this, it gives you a starting point. Because for a lot of us as directors, we're not necessarily social media people or marketers or anything like that, but that's a key part of our role. And it's a thing that we've had to learn. ChatGPT allows us to bridge that gap. But then also with this, so asking how many children should I target for each age group, given children under 2 as a ratio, all the ratios there. It's giving me a breakdown of the maximum educators I need for each room based on the maximum children that can be in that room and the ages of children that can be in there.
That data itself can save you hours to work out. So if
Yes.
you have a wait list, knowing what you can offer, this allows you to quickly know what is the best for your service, not just right now, but also long term, so that you don't end up with 1 year where you might have an entire kindy room leave you and it drops you down to 60% from 90%. It can give hours and hours back to you as a director.
Even just this section here, the forward planning here, to know that, okay, so from room 2 to room 3, we've got many in this age group, so it's likely enough to fill the room. We need to backfill room 2, and we're going to lose some from room 1 into room 2. So consistent intake of under 2s is what we're looking for.
So that's an example of how you can use ChatGPT with data from your current software, taking out the confidential data like the children's names, giving your marketing strategy, if that's part of your role, to increase your occupancy, which is a major issue for many services across the country. There are ways where you can use ChatGPT to give you the centers that are in a 5K, 10K radius from you, their ratings, how many places they have, and then you can also ask it to say, what is my point of difference compared to them? And it can give you exact those points of differences, those key differences that you can then speak into and market as well. So huge potential in so many different ways. So Steph and Rihanna, who've just come on, do you use, and you can either come off mute or put it into the chat, but do you use AI at the moment? If so, what tools? And if not, what problems do you have that would make your job easier if you could solve them with AI? Because yes, we're talking about ChatGPT at the moment, but we've given an example of the music Suno. We've given you and shown you Ask IM, which was software built with Replit. Jason built that. He's a director ECT. He's not
a tech programmer.
He's not a programmer. So we'll show you, what is possible. So Jay, maybe whilst if Steph and Rihanna are putting anything into that, show what you built in Replit.
Yeah. Okay, great. So What I might do is there a way for me to get,
Bring up Replit, the software itself, not.
yeah,
So this is what comes up on Replit, and you can use Replit for free to a certain extent, and then you would need to pay for it. But let's just say, what is a problem? What's a problem that somebody on here might have? We've got programming and people using ChatGPT, and it's sounding like ChatGPT. Beautiful, thanks, Rihanna. So I've used it for ideas for staff meetings, ask it to give me ideas on something I'm focusing on. So Replit might be, so say you use Owner, say you use Kidsoft, Quick Kids, whatever it is, software that you use for your CCS, for your enrollments. But you might use things like Storypark separately, whatever it is, you have this gap where it doesn't give you what you want. Yes, Gemma, we will send it through to you
yeah,
after this. So we had the gap in regards to what Jason said before, where it's like our education, as the educational leader, he didn't have enough hours to be and support the team in ways that we wanted. So what we created was a chat, like our own bot in ChatGPT that was all of our knowledge, all of Jason's knowledge, Jason's voice, everything he does in the centers that we go out to, we put it all into this ChatGPT bot. That's our own bot, right? You can do this too in your own service. And then team were using that. And then Jace used Replit to build Ask IM, which is basically Jason in your pocket.
yeah.
So this looks like ChatGPT, but this allows you to build software for whatever problem you have. So Jace used this to then go into whatever you want to show what you created.
Yeah, into Replit to essentially, this is how it looks on my end of things as I'm talking to it. And so an issue with the Montessori lessoning that I put into it, I was then getting an error where as the admin, I couldn't clear my session data. So looking at that, I went, okay, I need to be able to clear my session data. What's going on? And virtually the prompt that I gave it, clear session isn't working for admin. It's coming up as an error. And so then Replit just begins working.
You don't need to understand any of that. Like as
Nope.
in, as the person using it, you do not need to understand all of those things.
And then at the end, it says, okay, can you tell me what the specific error message you're receiving is? And I went, cool, it's an error 500. I don't know what error 500 is. I don't know what error 400 is. Like, I don't know. I know 404 is there's a missing link because that's just a website one that I've seen. But then telling this, it then went, okay, so 6 messages and 9 actions. It's gone through. And this here took 4 minutes this morning for it to completely fix the error that was coming up because of a new part I added in, I think it was over the weekend. Yeah, Saturday morning. 4 minutes. This here in real life application for an actual programmer would be hours,
Thousands.
would be thousands of dollars. And Ask IM started as, in terms of for Replit, it started and then I had a working model of it in 3 days of a complete app.
Can you show us that model, the completed model, just so people, so especially educational leaders, depending on how you do your work and how you do it across the service, you could use this to create yourself for your team.
Oh, look, there's a 404 page error. But okay, so this is our coaching mode. So I can just go start a new session. I am feeling overwhelmed and not wanting to work today. And so this is the response.
So,
And then also inviting us to go into it further.
so what's behind all of this is, so I'm an NLP trainer, so neuro-linguistics programming. So Jason has done NLP training. So all of that information is in the back end. All of EYLF is in the back end. All of Montessori is in the back end. All of whatever's Jason's philosophy,
Nervous system.
work, all of that's in the back end, which is what the what the AI pulls from, and in Jason's tonality. So we've trained it to sound like Jason.
And the goal of it as a general philosophy, it's never to instruct you, it's to guide you. It wants you to actually learn from it, to not become autonomous and just go, this is going to give me the answer, fantastic, let's go. The goal is for you to be able to come back to your own wisdom that you have, breaking down the stories, breaking down the nervous system dysregulation, to then come to go, okay, this is why this is happening. So even setting simple strategies, setting a boundary around your work hours. And then the coaching mode, all your previous conversations will come up here so you can revisit them whenever you need to. In terms of behavior mode, so students' initials, the child will only listen to their favorite teacher and actively runs away from anyone else who talks to them. And then additional context, so they are the youngest of 5 and both parents work full-time. So now what the AI is doing is it's building a support plan that educators can then utilize. So everyone has a whole approach at the service for this child. And the focus is on figuring out the underlying needs. So what it's telling us, behavior may be expressing a deep need for security and connection, possibly stemming from feeling overshadowed as the youngest of 5 siblings and experiencing limited parental presence due to their full-time work. May perceive their favorite teacher as a safe and consistent figure who provides the attention and understands that they crave. Even just that, for educators, that takes a lot of bandwidth.
Especially
to just
younger
come
ones
up,
and newer ones to the sector.
yeah. And depending on what your personal belief on behavior is as well, there'll be some people that will see this and go, they're being disrespectful, which then links into the stories that we tell ourselves and our sense of our state of our nervous system. This eliminates all of that and allows us to just go, okay, what's happening? Then proactive supports for it, gives you a series of support tools that you can utilize. The feather brick truck guidance. So feather is the subtle cues of what's happening. The brick is when it starts to get bigger. And then the truck is when it's in full fight or flight mode. How to relationally repair. So once an escalation has happened, how do we repair that? What success looks like for the child and for the educators, what success feels like, and how to get family partnerships. Every single plan that it creates will build this. And then what it does is your plan sits in your library. So that way you are able to access them.
Just remember that
download
this
them.
only took Jace 3 days to build.
Yeah, with no actual knowledge of it. And then in our calendar, it actually automatically sets a review date. So then when this comes up, a review prompt will come for us and go, okay, is this plan working? Do we need to fix it? Do we need to work on it? And then that way you can just continually create this opportunity for this child to experience success. And then if we go into planning mode, what I might do with this is I'll pull that observation.
So for those of you who came on after, we have an observation based on making paper at one of our services, and we used that as an example to show you Suno and how to make a song, and we'll use that here to showcase this as well.
It was in the kindergarten room, so we'll just and so from this, providing us an analysis of it, of what's happening in this observation, linking to the frameworks. For newer educators, trying to remember, and even some older educators as well, trying to remember the different codes, as this is a 4.1, this is a 3.2. That's another thing where it's more bandwidth, where you're having to go through the documents, you're having to scroll down, match it all out. This does it for you. And so then future planning, it provides you an idea of something you could follow on with based on the observation that came through. And then from summary of learning, I don't have multiple observations, but you would input your observations here, and then it would create a single paragraph to go, this is what this child has experienced, learned, developed, their strengths, etc., for this time period. And then the Montessori lesson, making paper from scraps, something they're really interested in. Therefore, and we want it to be a practical life activity. Oh, there we go. We have an error. So great. This works perfectly. So we go into Replit.
So now what we're showing you is how when you have control of the creation, how you can fix the problems and not have to wait for somebody else.
And so this is all I've said. An error 500 is coming up on the Montessori lesson page. And then we just run it. The first time you log into it each day, it does take a little bit because it's trying to remember the last sort of moment. So you can see where it's saying optimizing agent memory. And then what this will do, it'll tell me why the error is occurring. It'll fix the error. So then I'm able to then redeploy the app and get the error fixed. And exactly like Beck said, if this was in the power of someone else, I would have to send them an email or give them a call. And then if they're able to do it right then and there, fantastic. If not, well, I have to just wait until it works again.
So imagine if you could build, I mean, you have access to 7 days to use Ask IM for free from Being On Today, and we'll send those links to you. And it's currently only priced at $145 for the year if you do want to use Ask IM. However, over time, imagine if you could build you as the educational leader utilizing something like this, and then your educators having access to you all the time. But it's not access to you. It's access to your mind that you've mastered and created and put in the back end of this. Just imagine what that could do for the culture and for your team and your own nervous system. Like, this opens up so many more opportunities than you may ever think. So you have access to use Ask IM and give us feedback, and it's only $144 to use for the year at the moment. We also have a 2-day AI training coming up, one in August, one in October. The one in August will be online, so from anywhere in the world, but in the country. Those 2 days training, you will build your own ChatGPT bots. You will build your own solutions to the problems you have, and we will take you through those 2 days, 9 till 3, both days, and you will come out with tailored solutions for yourself, for your service, for your business. And so at the moment, that's usually $997. That is $497 for those 2 days of training. So you can use Ask IM, you can sign on for the 2 days of training and have that accessible for yourself and build these things, and we're side by side with you. So we do it with you so that you can then move into doing it yourself. And so they're the options that you have to work with us at like what we're showing you today, I guess. So yeah, this is how incredibly powerful AI gets to be in solving different problems. We're currently using Replit to solve the opening and closing checklist that is still paper driven with our team. And we're currently mapping that to link directly to Deputy, which is the software we use, the software that we use for our rostering. So, Jace, do you want to stop sharing your screen for a moment?
Yep.
And just, yeah, open the floor to any questions that anybody's got. So, Abby, could you please forward more information about the further changes? What do you mean by that?
Sorry, that was training. I obviously
yeah,
didn't read
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, we'll send
prove it.
the both of those two things through to you, including the dates.
Yeah, thank you.
And the current special for those on as well. How did you find that?
I think that's really great. Sometimes you've just got to sit in something until you can see, the value for your own context, and then those little creative brain cells start to bubble away. And I been able to identify a few possible areas that we could explore.
Beautiful. The place that I recommend for people just starting into AI is how can you use ChatGPT to get things out of your head faster? It's a great place to start, to see how fast you can start to capture your thoughts, your mind, your expertise in a faster manner. And then how do you use that? Like the skills that we do in the training, we want to teach you how to use it for mastery, not for replacement.
Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly jump on and share again for you, because that issue that was coming up in that short amount of time has now been fixed. And now it's creating the Montessori lesson for it. So then I can follow all of this to be able to support that child with their interest, and then pull from this an observation of the child using it, using the single observation summary to then create analysis and future learning. So in that time, couple minutes, it's completely fixed that entire error. And the simple language that I used was essentially, hey, this isn't working, please help.
Awesome.
So I'll stop sharing and come back to this. And
that can be for any. So if you're son or you have your own philosophy, any of that can be put into the back end of something like this. Rihanna or Steph, was there any questions you've got? What's been your biggest takeaway so far? I know you came on in the second half of today, but we're here to show you live or to solve one of your problems live if that's what you want. And it was 10 to 11, but we're here and we've got time after for any of you who want us to literally step by step and create a solution for you in anything. So I'm not sure if you're in a situation where you can come off mute to share, or put it into the chat. What's been your biggest takeaway? What questions do you have? Is there anything you want us to do for you live, Abby?
No, I need to sit with it for a bit. Thank you.
Too easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Awesome. Thanks.
I
Steph,
really
unfortunately,
value your time. Thank you.
no, too easy. Thank you.
Thank
Unfortunately,
you.
so much even after joining, having phone calls, etc. Beautiful. So it is recorded, and we will send the recording of the entire session out for today. Steph, you said, did Steph put in Rihanna?
Brianna, I agree. That's the best part is just having a play with it
What
and just
role are
seeing
you
what
in at the
comes up.
moment? Steph and Rihanna, what roles are you in? Sorry. Director, Rihanna's a director,
Director?
great. And
Yep.
Steph, if you're there, what role are you in? All right. So Abby, Rihanna, and Steph, you're all directors, correct?
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So don't have any questions. I want my life to be easier. All right. So Jace, what does
Yes.
Rihanna mean by when she says, I want my life to be easier? What's the context? And Rihanna, feel free to come off. What I might do is
Yeah.
actually, hold on, sorry, Jace. I'm going to
Yeah.
stop the recording here so that if the three of you have the time and you want to, it's not going to be recorded and you're going to be able to have the privacy for us to solve this problem for you. So we will send through the information in regards to the Ask IM software that you can use. It's $144 for the year. You get a 7-day trial and also the 2-day training for AI in education that's coming up. So thank you for being here, and I'm going to stop the recording now.